When I ran my campaign searching for a living kidney donor, I ended up getting multi-listed at several transplant centers in the same geographic area. That didn't necessarily increase my access to deceased donors because all the centers were in the Washington, D.C. area, but I'll tell you how it made a difference in other ways. Each transplant center had its own culture, its own set of standards, and its own level of communication. And some centers were much more responsive than others, not just to me, but my potential donors. And that really matters because if I had a potential donor that reached out and didn't hear back, they got discouraged. And I lost one or two people who would have been really genuinely willing to move forward, but because they didn't hear back from transplant coordinators, they got discouraged. I also felt myself more comfortable at certain centers than others, and that was mostly based on how they communicated. The other thing I want to share is that certain centers participated in paired exchange programs. That's when a donor who might not be a match for me might donate directly to somebody else, and that other person's donor might directly donate to me. But what I had happen was that I had one person who made it all the way through the evaluation, and unfortunately they weren't a match for me, and that center wasn't willing to participate in a paired exchange program. So I ended up having to wait a bit longer. So with that being said, one other thing I want to say is that not all insurances are willing to support multiple listings, multiple evaluations. So be sure to check out what your insurance will cover. But at the end of the day, because my insurance did cover it, I found it was worth it. The other thing I did find out is that I did find my evaluation was able to be transferred to all the other centers. What really took the most amount of time was spending the day doing the educational portion and meeting with the transplant teams. Other than that, maybe one center required an additional test. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions or comments about being multi-listed, please list them below in the comments. Thanks.